BRICS Summit Russia is here, starting tomorrow, this 22nd of October, until the 24th, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is going to be big news and major development. Why? We know who the big BRICS members are already. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Those are the major players. Those are the five ruling members. Then they added 4 new members in 2023 in South Africa's BRICS Summit when President Ramaphosa hosted it. And they joined Egypt, which is a major player on the African continent and a big economy. Iran has oil, so there's another major player because they have billions and billions of barrels of oil. UAE, another multi-billion-dollar economy. And what am I saying? UAE, Iran, Ethiopia, one of the only African country that's never been colonized. So Ethiopia is also another big major economy, like South Africa's economy. Anyway, so with all these major countries in BRICS, and then the icing on the cake, Saudi Arabia is no longer working with the petrodollar, which in turn basically means the US dollar is no longer king. They do not only, before this, Saudi Arabia only accept US dollars as payment for the oil. Now they scrap that. And this has been in effect since 1970. That's about 50 odd years. America have been living off the hog and have a stable backing for the currency, which is oil. Now, the Saudi Arabia is now accepting other currency like the yen, the rubles from Russia, and the Indian currency as well. They're accepting those currencies currently for oil. And so what is happening now, like for instance, South Africa can buy oil through Russia and they can use their own currency. And they can also, when Russia buys oil from, like for instance, Saudi Arabia, they can use their own currency. So that gives the South Africa a break from have to change their currency into the US dollar and then losing so much money. And they don't have to have the US dollars in reserve anymore. So they have more spending power. And Venezuela is also in the running to join to be a next member in BRICS. And if that happens, Venezuela is another big player when it comes to oil. They have billions of gallons of liters of oil in Venezuela. But because they are so heavily sanctioned by the Americans by weaponizing the US dollars again. So if they join, and I hear there's also talks of Cuba joining. Even though Cuba doesn't have oil and they don't have a booming economy, but what they do have is location. So if they join BRICS, they have access like a road directly next to, like literally a neighbor of America. And that's what America fear of always. That's why they always isolated Cuba throughout history. So with this said, what major news going to be breaking in this new BRICS summit in Russia? Will it be the new currency they're going to use on the new paying system? Not the SWIFT. The SWIFT is what the Americans and the SWIFT the SWIFT payment system, not plan. The SWIFT payment system is what every country uses globally. So now, because the BRICS countries have their own central bank and they're having their own payment system in place now. So with that, they can skip over the SWIFT and use their system and trade within their own currency. And what will they do? Will they have a basket of currency like the yen from China, the rupees from Russia, and the Indian currency? I forget the name of the Indian currency, India's currency. I don't know if they're going to use the rand in South Africa. I'm not sure. But if it's going to be a basket of currency, or they're going to come up with a new currency to use within the BRICS nation. And there's 30 countries that is already vying to put in for the BRICS membership. So you can imagine that about 30 countries fighting to get into the BRICS, but there are certain requirements you have to fulfill to be a member. But so far, all the major players in the global scale is in BRICS, are already joined BRICS, and are trying to join BRICS, which means the economic power they're gonna have, the BRICS gonna have, they're gonna rival the Western economical power with the euro, the pounds from the England, the US dollar, yeah, those currencies. So with we're gonna have a rival, like a balance to the scale. So there's no longer they can use their money to wreck other countries' economy like what they do in Africa, using their currency and destabilize African countries with the US dollar. They do this all the time. But this does America say that they are for human rights and they are for but yet you're for human rights, but yet when you sanction governments like for instance Zimbabwe government, they sanction the government people, but yet it's trickled down heavily to the regular man, the poor man. It make them more impoverished, make them more poorer. But yet you're saying you are for human rights when you're sanctioning America sanctioned these countries about human rights, but yet you're causing human rights issues. You see the hypocrisy and why we need to get away and start vying for the BRICS currency and to trade with the BRICS, use the BRICS system of payment plan. Anyway, I will even know guys know any major upgrade or any major announcement in this BRICS meeting starting tomorrow. Who will join, what currency they're gonna use, and stuff along those lines. And what's the next big plan for the BRICS nations? What are the next big projects? Anyway, keep in touch. Let me know. I will even know what's going on. So check back tomorrow for another update on the new BRICS summit in Russia. Boom.